Intro is starting. Oh, you're live.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Thursday. Happy first Thursday. It is December 2025. And thank you so much for joining the Dispensary Live. There is an active fight going on, and to my left, in front of me, and in front of your camera screen right now, is my co-host, Trevor Morrissey, brother. Thank you for joining me in the fight today.
Always a pleasure to be here. It's going to be a good conversation today.
And with the good conversation is also going to come along with some new faces. And to be quite frank, we already have one in the queue. And in case you at home are wondering how you can get in the queue to let your voice be heard today, because today is an open forum, as it probably will be the rest of the year throughout next year, trying to save the hemp industry. All you got to do is hit the link that's in the comment section, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. My production manager over there next to Brother Bear is Brandon. Thank you so much for being here again, Brandon, and putting all this together for us. Shout out the sponsor of the program, the Dispensary. They operate in five states, if you will, nationwide, and the biggest hemp retailer is out to try to save the industry, and that's why we're here today. And our first guest lined up happens to be a big fish in the pond that is, or the big, I should say, ocean at this point, man. We said how many $1 billion last episode?
28.
$28 billion industry, and climbing still
growing early.
Still growing. So real quick, Minnesota's hemp industry has faced its toughest challenge yet. And at the forefront is Lele Fatehi, principal of Crested River Cannabis Company. She's been working tirelessly to keep small hemp business alive, navigating sudden bans and shifting regulations. Along the way, she's collaborated with industry leaders and advocacy groups to defend the future of hemp in the state. Today, she joins us to share her insights, the real impacts on producers, and what it takes to fight for an industry under pressure. Lele, how does this hemp ban affect you in Crested River, and what can people do alongside of you to help fight for positive change? And thank you so much for joining the program.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, no, I mean, this hemp ban, the only way it was able to pass was by, sneaking through in the dark of night. We have a year before it takes effect, and hopefully we're able to muster the kind of advocacy necessary to get in the way of it.
Absolutely. How does a consumer mindset, if you do consume on the regular yourself, how does this potentially impact you and your livelihood, if you don't mind me, and your well-being, as a matter of fact, because hemp cannabis happens to be one of the best wellness tools out there, alongside many of others that I'm not going to name right now, because the focus is what's under attack right now. But you as a consumer, how do you worry?
Oh my God! I mean, so many consumers at Crested River really are using these products as wellness products or as alternatives to alcohol. Minnesota was a state that really innovated this extraction of hemp-derived products, and so it's really sort of impacted what the consumer culture here in Minnesota like. We have a much more diverse base of consumers that now are learning about the plant, the many different uses of the plant. They're much more educated than I think cannabis consumers in prior decades would have been, and so I really see this ban as not just an assault on an industry and a lot of people's livelihoods, but it is an enormous step backwards. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that this isn't just an attempt to ban a set of products. This is a recriminalization of a segment of the cannabis plant that we've sort of been able to liberate from the ridiculousness of Schedule 1. And so that's the part of it that I'm really concerned about, is that this is recriminalizing a product that we're seeing a lot more people beginning to understand and utilize. It's just completely ass backwards.
No, I fully agree with you on that. I think it's something, especially with the rescheduling side of it, that a lot of people haven't necessarily had so much of a focus on, rather the panic of the ban itself just being clean cut across the board. And either way, you said it perfectly. It's just a big step backwards from the progress we've been able to make with when the bill was initially passed and what we've been able to do since then. To come to this point and now take that huge leap back, even at that point, is outrageous.
Well, and especially like what this was sort of sold as to the politicians that ultimately ended up backing it, many of whom, including some of Minnesota's delegation, Minnesota's attorney general, who really sort of stepped in on this one incorrectly. This was sold to them as, well, this needs to happen at the federal level to like close a loophole on dangerous, unregulated products, and the reality is that the people it's going to have the greatest impact on are businesses that are working under regulatory systems that are producing safe products for people. It just was sold as something completely different than what it is. This does nothing to eliminate the kinds of hemp products unscrupulously sold. Those are going to remain on the market. The only people that stand to be harmed are consumers and responsible businesses.
And all those thank you for that. And all those businesses that go into what get the product from seed to shelf, because like you just mentioned there with the COAs, as a company that you're as a principal of Crested River, how important are excuse my French, how important are those labels on your products when it comes to verifying a legal product and not something that somebody made in their kitchen?
Oh, it's incredibly important. I mean, so, in Minnesota, the way we came to, you may recall in 2022, the sort of narrative was that Minnesota accidentally legalized, THC edibles and beverages, and that notion that it was accidental, it was actually an attempt to put in place regulations, labeling, packaging, safety requirements that were missing. And we advocated for that. The members of industry advocated for that. Minnesota, at the same time that we legalized those products, we banned, the synthetic, lab-produced, novel, THCP, the Delta 10s and things like that. So we've been at the forefront of really pushing that consumer safety aspect. And so, it's pretty devastating to see at the federal level an attempt to dismantle that.
If you don't mind me asking, Lele, are you guys the biggest cannabis beverage company in Minnesota?
So we are, I think, probably still the state's only cannabis dedicated beverage line. Majority of the other, if not all of the other beverages that are manufactured in the state of Minnesota are done by breweries. And I know right now, we're seeing a lot of the breweries being the ones doing the pushback against this federal ban. And I'm glad to see them actually having to exert some energy on advocacy, because quite frankly, they never had anything to do with its legalization in the first place. It was a windfall for them. They made enormous amounts of money off of it. Most of them are buying their THC not from Minnesota hemp farmers, not from Minnesota processors. They're buying it from out of state. And so it's
That's a common thing we share here in Wisconsin. As a matter of fact, per the sponsor of the program, we battle with something called the Tavern League over yonder, I should say. Shout out my southern roots in Tobacco Road, North Carolina. Thank you all for watching back home, my family as well. And I hope your family's watching too, Lele. You are very important when it comes to this industry and how we're going to save it. True. Thank you so much for joining us again. And man, I cannot believe the resistance that is there from big alcohol. But again, a month ago, before you even came on the program or before you even at home bothered to click this video and come on, last month, I mentioned to you and Jason just over there on that side of the desks, I think my gut intuition says big alcohol has a huge hand in this. And I'm not going to point any fingers.
We know that from the campaign contributions, right? I mean, Mitch McConnell took a pretty sizable contribution from both the large alcohol interests and from the large cannabis MSOs. I mean, this is a disruptive segment of the market for them. And so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out with alcohol, because we see the smaller breweries, the independent breweries, and then we see the distributors on the side of that industry and cannabis. So hopefully, in addition to seeing them lobby to overturn this ban at the federal level, we start seeing them actually consider themselves part of the cannabis industry. Because my experience here in Minnesota has been that they aren't. We haven't seen them when we were pushing for recreational legalization. They didn't really do anything for that. We don't see them really pushing for full legalization at the federal level. And that's a dynamic that continues to bother me. And so while I welcome our friends and neighbors in brewing to participate in this industry, I encourage them to broaden their advocacy and remember that, ultimately, like, hemp is not a cash commodity for them, like, hops and things like that. It is a highly political plant that has been criminalized. And so we need their advocacy in that way as well.
Yeah.
The principal of Crested River Company, Lele Fatehi. Thank you so much for joining us today. Your testimony is going to go a long way in this fight, and we can't thank you enough for joining us. And coming up next here in the queue, have a lovely evening there, Lele. Thank you so much.
Appreciate what you do.
Coming up next in the queue is Mr. Sean from Crested River as well.
710.
Oh, from 710. Excuse me. I had bad intel there on my sheet. Hey, how you doing? Can you hear our audio? Because you look super handsome right now.
I'm just kind of chilling right now. Got a moment at home, so
enjoy it.
The house is a bit of a wreck. We just got a new range, and we're taking care of that. So, but anyway,
congratulations.
Yeah, I'm Sean Crystal from 710 Spectrum. Founded it in September of 2021, September 22, excuse me. And we opened our first retail storefront April 20th of 2024.
Fantastic. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience with the band currently, and how your most current feelings are about it in general?
Absolutely. So I think one of the biggest disturbances is that the same administration that opened the doorway for our industry to thrive is the same administration that's shutting that down right now. And I know Lele, she touched on that $28 billion market, but it goes so much deeper than that. That $28 billion market is just the ancillary market. That is just the hemp industry by itself, approximately 350 to 500,000 jobs in that market. That doesn't even touch the broader economic impact that the hemp industry has. And in 2022, that was estimated to be worth nearly $79 billion. So I have a hard time not believing that number isn't over $100 billion today. And that's, supply chains, shipping, logistics, point of sales, commercial real estate. I mean, you've got 500,000 people, 30,000 or so businesses that are going to be impacted if this moves forward. And that's a huge number. That's not something that you just wipe away and don't see a broader economic impact to everything else.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know if we've covered it on past podcasts we've been close to, but that is something that I think of often, and I don't think enough people are thinking about is that broad reach it actually has. With our sponsors, I'm sure they get it in the same sense of like you're ordering stuff from other companies, from other places that directly influences the economy that they're going to be a part of it. That's in that side of things. So, no, Sean, that is a very, very good point to highlight on that. Across the board, it's far more reaching than just within the industry. And I think that's really key to highlight to people. Quick question for you, Sean, from your side of things.
Yeah.
With your company and whatnot, what kind of steps have you guys been taking in preparation or to fight the bill itself, the ban itself?
So we're actually kind of in a unique situation. We're out here in Idaho, and as most of the country knows, Idaho is probably the harshest regulations on anything cannabis related. In fact, a month after we opened our retail storefront, we were raided by Idaho State Police. They seized 80% of our inventory. We opened our shop on about $4,200 worth of inventory, just to give you a reference, and we dumped everything into it. My wife and I had just both lost our jobs of 5 to 6 years. So we pulled together taxes, we pulled together her 401k, we pulled together our savings, and we opened the storefront. Total investment under $20,000 probably. But that was like everything we had together. And so one of the first things we did is experiencing that, because I spent about 200 hours of due diligence just with the state of Idaho, Department of Ag, law enforcement, etc., addressing the regulations in the first place. And Idaho claimed that we were just a 0% THC state. I said, show me that in law, and I won't do this. Nobody showed me that in law.
It sounds familiar, Sean. I love your trailblazing aspect.
Like
You're such a trailblazer, dude. Go ahead.
So following that lawsuit, we actually filed a notice of tort against Idaho State Police, the Department of Agriculture, and the local prosecutor for our county. That lawsuit is technically still pending. Our attorneys kind of put that on the back burner of like, well, if they're not bothering you right now, bankroll it. And so we've just been running our business in faith since day one, and we've continued to run our business in faith. In fact, the same day that these or the sneak into the funding bill came into play, we put a down payment on an LED sign for our business so that we could get more exposure finally.
Amen.
We are a little bit hidden. So, but the biggest thing that we've done to kind of combat what's happening is focusing on community impact, showing what this industry can do for the broader community. When we opened the doors, I did honestly expect in Idaho that my class, my people that were going to be paying the bills was going to be more of the degenerate crowd. And I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way. I was a young degenerate too, and I grew out of it. But that has certainly not been the case. I'd say 80% to 90% of our clientele is the working class, the business class, the fellow business owner, the churchgoer, the doctor, the lawyer, etc. And so we've pushed back heavily into our community by sponsoring our local chamber of commerce, sponsoring local music, youth athletics, doing things that everybody in Idaho told me was impossible. I once had a judge tell me if I ever wanted anything to do with cannabis in Idaho, move out of Idaho. And yeah, I'm here, and now I'm a cannabis business owner in the hemp industry. We've attended stuff like the local policeman's ball as a table sponsor. We've been at our political events as platinum sponsors. We're putting up money that I never thought I'd be able to put up. And one thing that I see from it is that I said at 16 when I first became a cannabis advocate that somebody in Idaho was going to have to put up this kind of money and actually show the benefit that communities can have from this industry. Never in my wildest dreams did I believe that it was going to be me. And I think that's the thing that as an industry, we need to do most. We need to grow up. We've got a lot of bad actors in our industry that have really damaged our reputation. And unless we can unite on a forefront as an industry as a whole and grow up like the rest of the retail markets, we're doomed.
All I can say is preach on that. First off, props for being that person.
Yes, thank you for that support.
Set the standard and got to show what a good actor in the industry can be. But what the key takeaway for me on that was community involvement, community outreach. from my side of the industry, it's something I'm very big into pushing. I'm big into us getting involved with chambers, getting involved into cities that want us to be involved with them, to help us and to help the city show that this is a viable business that is here. It's professional. It's no different than any other business on your main street. And we are also going to help impact the cities that we're in. So Sean, I have to say hats off to you on being that first guy to lay the first brick down for the road. And then also, I just couldn't agree with you more on the community engagement side of it. 100%.
Just another raw American from rural America out here doing the groundwork where the potatoes grow the best here in America. You out here doing the thing with the giggle bush, the way it ought to be done, treating it the way it ought to be treated. And not only that, you're letting your communities receive the direct benefit from it beyond a tax dollar, beyond a relationship at the counter. You're going out of your way to attend events and but to participate in events that have absolutely zero to do with cannabis, but 100% to do with your community. And that's what makes this community unlike any other out there besides the one that believes in Jesus Christ, my Lord Savior. I'm just going to say that right here publicly. Yeah, thank you so much, Sean. You sounded like a brother in Christ. I just want to say, man, you are doing it right, and I believe that you are a true vessel, man, out there. And it hasn't been a lonesome project. Obviously, you've had a lot of help along the way, but it does take an immense amount of, I'm going to say it in Spanish, cojones, to be able to do what you have set out to do, because literally there is no blueprint for this. I hear it all the time from the CEO of the dispensary. Shout out this, plug the sponsor, Brandon as well, co-founder and production. You're everything for this, man. It doesn't happen without that community. And thank you so much for coming on tonight, Sean, and giving your piece, dude. You are seriously a vital player in what's going to come forth with the change of this hemp ban. And I can't thank you enough. Trevor, any send off words for Sean?
No, what you were aiming at right there in my mind was support. We need to have the support in our businesses just to get around and all that, but even just within the industry. So Sean, appreciate you calling in to support this just in general.
Absolutely. And if you don't mind me taking just a couple more minutes, not to toot our own horn or anything, but just to show what this industry can do. In our first year in business, we realized how fast our business was growing. We had a goal and we far surpassed it because Idaho wanted it. And we washed so much money downriver to border dispensaries in Montana, Washington, Oregon, Nevada. And 80% of the traffic is Idaho plates. But in 1 year, we've put up nearly $50,000 to community sponsorships and donations, contributions to veterans, the Chamber of Commerce, like I said before, local music, youth athletics, etc. We won Idaho's best CBD store of the state in that first year. We've been recognized as the best newcomer by the Chamber of Commerce in our local area.
What?
We had a spot in our local 4th of July parade, and we beat out local honey and youth athletics for best float overall.
What?
So when people put their name out there in our industry and put the money forward, we can win these battles. The problem is, I see it time and time again, whether it's in Idaho with just regular CBD businesses or whether it's dispensaries in legal, recreational, or medical states. We hide away from the cameras. We hide away from the news. We don't put our names out there, and we don't put up the fight. We still hide in the closet like it's Nixon's drug war 1974.
Preach
On that.
Let's go, Sean. Let's go. Fighting the fight here on the Dispensary Live from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Thank you so much, Sean. We're going to see you in the comment section, brother, on the next one.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate your time very much.
See you later. Love you. Bye. Coming up next, I've already got somebody else in the queue. Possibly a longtime listener, first-time caller. Could be you next, should you choose to hit that very link in the comment section of this video, whether you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok. Or LinkedIn, as a matter of fact. If you're that much of a professional, 7 p.m. at night, you're in your downtime enjoying a lake effect from a Minnesota, Idaho situation, we're going to get you on this program here next. Yeah, let's bring Shane on. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm going to let the young man, or Shane could be a unisexual name. Who knows? Hello, do we have audio? Shane, are you there?
I am.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, wow. Okay. You sound really good on camera, man. Who are you? What is your take on the hemp ban, if you don't mind me asking, my friend? Thank you so much for calling the dispensary live from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Long time listener, first time caller. The hemp ban personally affects me because I work in the hemp industry.
Awesome. All right. Tell us
Anytime-
about that. What do you do?
Well, I do some production stuff.
Audio's cutting up a little bit there. See if you can maneuver location so I can get a little bit more clarity from the connection there, bud.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
You do sound a lot better. So you
Yes,
were
you
saying
do.
that you work in the industry and you produce and then it went out for the viewers at home.
Yeah, so I produce many products in the hemp industry. Probably the most products that any company produces. And with this ban upcoming, it's something that's going to affect me personally.
So
Is this your only job, if you don't mind me asking?
It is my only job at the moment.
Oh my goodness. So that means, I mean, if you don't mind me, do you have like a house mortgage or something like that? Are you living in your car? Is everything
Family.
okay? You got a family?
I got a family and a mortgage. I'm not living in the car.
Well, that's good. But you are a real person at the end of the day that has real life responsibilities outside of just yourself. And it sounds like this hemp ban could potentially take away that livelihood. And be honest with me and with those at home that are wanting to kind of explore your vulnerability here in front of thousands of viewers that are the subscribers to the dispensary live. Does this make you really like kind of upset in the sense of are you nervous? Are you big time nervous for possibly losing your career?
Yes, sir.
I do apologize.
That actually affects me on a daily basis. We try to look at the good side of everything that's going on, but this looming over our heads is always something that you're going to think about.
100%. I mean, to me, it is almost like they are at this point trying to become the world's greatest supervillain by almost stealing the moon. And it's outrageous at this point. So, Shane, have you been doing anything on your side to help, like, try to fight the bill, or are you kind of just waiting to see how it develops over the next couple of months? Because there's going to be a lot of changes. I would imagine they're going to be bringing it back for some amendments here and there, or trying to work on it in general. Where's your stance on that right now?
Have you made contact?
Yeah.
Is there any platforms you've made contact on?
I try to spread awareness personally.
Well done.
Yeah, no.
Very well done. Kind of a word of mouth kind of guy,
I was about to say word of mouth goes a long way.
And there is a link, as a matter of fact, if you go to the dispensary.com, if you want to put www in front of that, you absolutely may, but you do not have to. Go to dispensary.com, hit that link underneath the countdown that you should see under 360 days from now, and you'll be able to submit.
342.
342 is the accurate number right now with hours counting. And you can actually submit your, I think it's just a formal letter saying that you disagree with this hemp ban. And Brandon, if you don't mind, is that letter inclusive to Wisconsin or all states?
That will go to your senator. So
just in general?
Per your address.
It'll go to your address. Yep.
Okay.
Per your address. So Shane, I advise you go to the dispensary.com and check that out for yourself. But I mean, you already do enough for the industry, as it sounds like to myself. I couldn't imagine the stress that you're under on like an hourly basis as a provider, as a man. Are you a husband?
I am.
Shout out the wife.
Yeah, lovely lady.
Lovely lady. There we go. Shout out the wife there. You got to take care of her and the kiddos, man. And I'm praying for folks like you in this very situation right now, and not just here in Wisconsin, but here in the nation, because this hemp ban is going to affect everybody. And as I don't know if you've heard, Shane, but if you go to Alabama and you have some cannabis on you right now, there are serious repercussions to where it's punishable by a Class C felony and up to 1 to 10 years in prison and fines up to $15,000 for what you work in every single day, my friend. Do you think that's a valid punishment for the wellness products you create?
Not at all. No, I think that our products should be regulated very well, but they should not be persecuted the way they are.
Fully agree, especially with a plant that grows naturally out in Mother Earth. So on that side of things, it's at this point, I think it's just starting to get really crazy with how they're coming at it. But I do want to give a shout out to you, Shane. You mentioned being on the production side of things, and just shout out to you for being part of the industry and helping out, keeping stores afloat, keeping stores with product, all that stuff that you do on a daily basis.
Yeah, and for having the courage to come on one of the nation's largest hemp cannabis programs, or just cannabis programs in general, on the intranet. This is going to last forever. And your testimony tonight, groundbreaking in the sense of who needs to hear it out there. And if you have a story out there, we need to hear it as well. Shane, thank you so much for joining us. Have a kick-ass rest of your night. I'm not sure if you're a smoker, drinker, or edible eater, my friend, but I wish I was there with you right there on the couch somewhere, and we could just relax and talk some more about this in our own time. But we got some more voices to get to, and we've got a lot more of the industry to save, my friend. So thank you, and we love you. Have a great night.
Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for calling. You could be the very next caller, should you choose. And or it's not even calling. You just hit the link. You don't got to have your camera on. We're out here to give you a platform, the viewer at home, a chance to join the program and let the lawmakers hear from actual humans and not the lobbyists that get paid to kind of influence them. I'm not going to call. I'll let you go.
Everyone knows. Everyone knows what you're talking about. And honestly, look at those 3 solid voices coming in for support of the industry, whether they're in it, but in taking their time, giving it to us, coming on the show. If you want to too, all you gotta do is hit that link, click over, 2 clicks, all it takes.
Yeah.
But until we get another caller in here, we are going to cut it over to a commercial quick.
All right, keep your head down, follow through, and just relax. Dude, you're making me nervous. Still got the shanks. Dude, are you good? I don't know, man. My body hurts. I can't focus. I can't sleep at night. I got high blood pressure. I don't know what I'm doing out here.
Sounds like you guys got to go to the dispensary.
The dispensary? Be right back.
We always come back.
Oh, man. That commercial rocks my socks. Let me tell you something, Trevor.
It's such a fun one. Plus that the golfer in it, what a good time he looks like.
What a
having.
stick.
What a stick.
What an absolute
Just
stick
striping
that
him
guy
out there.
is.
Straight down the middle.
Might try to get that gentleman, that actor, on the program one day. I bet he serves a valuable purpose in the industry.
I'm very positive we can make that happen.
Just like you at home in the comment section right now, don't think I'm not looking at you, hitting that like button. We've got a lot of viewers in here this evening. Thank you guys so much for joining us in the comments here on YouTube. Trevor has the ones on Facebook, I believe. God is good all the time from Spectrum, who joined us earlier. Amen to that, brother. Puff Prince. It's got an echo. Thank you for the audio help earlier, man. And should you guys at any time think or experience a technical difficulty, please submit it. Our technical professional is going to handle it to the best of his abilities as fast as he humanly possibly can. Thank you for the comments today from Bryce Miller, Kelly Hoffman with the blue and green heart. Hey, sweetheart. We've got Green Bay West Dispensary. Shout out the west side of the river, of the Fox River. And there's 19 locations nationwide you can visit should you ever choose to. And 5 states, Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, should you want safe, internally regulated hemp that can be trusted to not only get you by on the streets legally, unless you're in Alabama, mind you, but it get you fly too. But Trevor, I believe we have some written testimonies that we might get to.
Yeah, I figure let's jump over to some of our written ones as we wait for anybody else to call in. Going to start off with Sandra M. I had 7 kids, 4 were C-section. Have forever neck, back, abdomen pain, and consuming helps tremendously. All I can say is right off the rip, first off to you, props on 7 kids. That is wild. As a dude who is waiting for his first one currently, this is something that could hit home to me very, very, very soon. So in the grand scheme, I think the fact that you're using this product to help with pain that you are virtually always going to have to deal with now, and it's something that has actually helped you to alleviate that pain, for them to just rip it out is crazy. It's medicine. And anytime we get on this topic around the ban and the product and how much of a medicinal purpose it serves, it should be eye-opening to anybody who is against it. Be open to the idea of new medicine, right? We all are. So at that point, if it's something that you grew up with like a stigma on, I can understand that. But also you got to look at the product and what it can do for wonders of other people. So what do you think about that, Jacob? Any thoughts on that one?
Brandon, are these comments shared on our social media platforms about the wonderful plant that is hemp?
Yes, these came through the event that we had posted for
okay.
a while. So
Very well done, everybody that did their homework, including Sandra M.
yes,
Had 7 kids, 4 were C-sections. So check it out. My mother had C-sections too.
Okay.
And she experiences a fuck ton of pain. Not sure if it's directly C-section related. She's also had a regular life to a degree.
Yeah.
She's an American. She pays her taxes. And she's going to work every day for the past 40 plus years. You know what I mean?
But even in that same sense, I think it shows like on the recovery side of things, like a lot of people think
Correct.
of recovery when you're thinking of like working out,
Bro.
coming back from just a standard like injury of sports.
Yes.
Having a child.
I grew up going to the Naval Hospital in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Hoorah for all my Marines. Semper Fi. I was an Army guy myself. But seriously, I grew up in the Naval Hospital with my brothers, and I've had probably more prescription pills throughout my life than I've had Giggle Bush consumed. And I'm still trying to balance out that ratio. I don't think it would be fair that she be subjected to, and or any other mother in this free nation of ours. God bless the soldiers that died for our freedom. I don't think that any mother out there should have to go to a pill, especially one that's kind of pushed in front of your television screen on a nightly basis, or even during a football game. There's so many big pharma ads. A lot more of them nowadays tend to be more for the depression angle, from what I'm seeing, or for selective certain things, but for the pain in general, from just the life experience of having a family, having kids. You know what I mean? You're about to step into that realm. I've watched my brothers and my sisters do this for almost a decade plus now. I see wear and tear on their bodies too. And I'd hate for them to run directly to big pharma when there's a natural plant that is very much like what they consider marijuana cannabis to be. However, there is less taxes on it, and there is less repercussion for taking a safe, quality,
Natural.
tested product that is not labeled for kids, that is from a certified source, such as the dispensary, shout out there, or a good product brand like Crested River. Just High Rise as well, right over your shoulder, Brandon. Another trusted brand that can assure you they don't have dead rats in their cans like Monster does. I'm not throwing out any claims from the past to not bringing up skeletons here.
gentlemen, we have somebody in the
Thank God we finally have somebody. Mike from Natrium. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for bearing
doing.
tangent. Can you hear us? Do you sound all right, man?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. You must be in your fresh from the gym attire, seeing as though you don't got your camera on, brother.
Oh, that's exactly right, actually.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mike. For the people at home that don't know you, unlike Trevor and myself, please introduce yourself, not necessarily where you're from, but where you are in the hemp industry and how this ban is going to affect you, my friend.
Yeah, so my name's Mike. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Natrium. Natrium is a wellness company. It's also a distribution company. We service over 500 different accounts, ranging all over the Midwest. One point in time, we had 20 employees, and that keeps shrinking. Simply because of the hemp ban, people are getting skittish. Even here in Minnesota, where the laws are actually defined, people are holding off on purchasing because, they're not sure what to do, how to organize themselves with how the current law is going on. And, the feds in the state obviously are encroaching on this liberty of ours, and business owners do not know how to react. Ultimately, what this does, and let's just say that the state of Minnesota says, we're just going to ignore the feds and we're going to do, our own thing. The other ramifications that aren't taken into consideration is that insurance companies will then put you in another category of insurance, which will triple, quadruple your premiums. So this isn't just like if you're in a state, you're safe, right? This is a situation where industries such as banking, insurance companies, payment processors, online companies. I mean, on the front end, it may seem like it may stay the same if you're in a safe state, but on the back end, it's so painful that it could ultimately cut staff in half, put businesses out. So I'm really concerned. Obviously, you know, just like you guys, I've dedicated my life to this industry, and I don't want to see us go backwards. So
That's the truth right there. Right there, not going backwards. It's a giant leap. It's a giant leap back we talked about before. It's not good for anybody. It's, like you mentioned, livelihoods are involved now at this point. Communities are involved at this point. They're used to these products being around. They're used to being able to go and try to get medicine. People are used to waking up, going to work, helping individuals find the products they need that are provided in the shops and wellness centers and all that. And now to just rip it out of their hands. It's like you said, don't want to see us go backwards. It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical.
And it's not the same customer, right? Like the hardcore stoners do not go into hemp shops, right? They go and get their medical card, or they go to the other places. Our customers are people in their 30s that are living a professional life or trying to do like their blue collar job and get tested, right? And these things, like smoking CBD and taking products that are just for the wellness concept, they're not trying to get blazed off their mind, you know? So like categorically, not only does it not make sense, but you know, I want to say I feel like I saw this coming when we introduced this here in Minnesota, the what we call the OOPS bill for edibles and THC. And then we started seeing the liquor stores carry it. I thought to myself, oh, this is bad. And I started thinking like, we should be fighting this. And everyone else was telling me basically to shut up because there needs to be access, right? It's the argument of access. And that's cool and fine. But what has the liquor industry done to support our industry and make it legal?
Yep.
Nothing. Not a single thing. And now on the back end of it, all they've done is they're trying to wipe the board so they can pick up all the pieces.
Orbit all. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we find ourselves in this situation where like a distributor like myself needs these liquor stores in order to even survive because they wiped out the hemp stores. And I like, this goes against my own personal ethos, you know, but if I'm going to stay in the industry I love, what am I supposed to do? So, I think ultimately what this comes down to is, you know, my personal philosophy has to change. I have to say, okay, if I could get people off alcohol and onto this product, that's a thumbs up, right? If I have to fall on the sword for this, I'm okay. But that doesn't speak for the people I provide an income for, right? And ultimately, we have to be sensible about this. If hemp is going to have its own lane, there should be a hemp shops. There shouldn't be, like, in my opinion, access to liquor stores or anything like that. And that's, some people disagree with this, but look at the landscape. These guys got greedy and now they're taking us all out.
Yeah. Honestly, 3 points that I took away from everything you just said. One, if you want to be in the industry, you should be there supporting the industry. I think everybody could agree with that. So I fully back you on that sense of things. If you want to get into it, you should have been here at the start or join the battle to keep it around, even in the same sense of keeping around hemp stores, all that. Also, I took away the aspect of who we serve, who comes into these stores. Coming from a stoner himself, when I first joined the industry, I thought it was going to be all stoners I was taking care of and helping out day to day. Quickly learned that was not the case. Whether it be people dealing with different ailments, your everyday working class individual, elderly coming in because they want to try something new for something they've been dealing with for a long time.
Recovering addicts.
Exactly. Recovering addicts.
Mm-hmm.
People who are just your standard people going out and exercising a lot and want something natural to help them recover quicker that night.
Or like Tina said, I think her name was Tina from our last 2 Thursdays ago, she said that she's got MS or whatever, and
Yep.
her sister's basically debilitated, but she chose to fast and to use cannabis and she all these other ailments, and she just absolutely refused big pharma, and now her life is so much better. Like those people are who this potentially affects the most. The people that want to choose alternative. You know what I mean?
100%. And that comes to the third point. The third point being that we talked before about how wide reaching the industry is. When you even look outside of the industry, we can even bring it back to the people that are affected by the industry, in the sense of who we do serve on a day-to-day. Yeah, we're influencing people's livelihoods, their careers, their businesses they've started up and invested money into that could just be closed down, shut down on them instantly. But also we could be taking medicine away from your grandma who's been using it to fall asleep at night. We can take it away from your brother who recently got injured playing a sport, and now he's trying to make a comeback from it, or maybe just deals with anxiety, and now this has been his go-to medicine. We're trying to take this, just rip it out of their hands. So
you think Mike keeps his physique as tight and chiseled as he does because he doesn't have a wellness product like cannabis he can go to at the end of the night? Tell me if I'm wrong, Mike.
The truth is we have a topical that has saved my life and kept me in the fitness industry, man. So, I appreciate that. But all truth be told, man, if we lose this, ultimately what's going to end up happening is big pharma is going to be the one in control of all the cannabinoids, and alcohol is going to be in charge of the drinks. And that sucks, man, because we've all experienced how they sell the drinks, how they educate the consumer, how they treat the product. They're terrible. And I'm constantly winning over accounts simply because these guys do not know what they're doing or talking about. And they operate on a model that is so outdated. They do a 30-30-30 model, which, like, my model is focused on how do I provide the best marginal advantage to the retailer? Because my relationship with you is to make you the most money. I'm in business to make the retailer successful and have your end user have the best product in hand. So those guys are purely focused on profit and purely focused on product collection. And they'll, like, I'm not going to name distributors, but I know firsthand out here in Minnesota, there were multiple brands that were purchased by distributors. And keep this in mind, guys. I really want people to listen to this. Brands were purchased. And then what ended up happening is like that independent guy that came up with that idea of that brand. Distributors were holding on to the brand and never shelving it because they had a profit agreement with other brands. They didn't want the competition. So they're willing to sit on 10 pallets of drinks so there's no competition. I've seen it. I've talked to sales reps, talked to warehouse managers. This is a real thing. And it sounds ludicrous, but when we're talking about companies with 5,000 accounts, 10 pallets, it's like flicking a quarter in a wishing well. So just keep in mind the amount of products that we're going to be fighting here, and brands we're going to be fighting that are on the side of alcohol that want to be represented by cannabis, or hemp rather. These two cannot coexist, and we're trying to make it work, but we have two bad parents that can't get it together. And here's like cannabis can't get it together because they're still on 280E, and alcohol can't get it together because they're just destroying lives. And then there's the hemp industry, which we've been able to survive and create businesses, thrive. There's been major social economic activity. These people who had who got tired of the 9-to-5, people who had no chance in business, they were able to carry a brand. And businesses like mine, when we started, I built a 15-store affiliate program. Basically, people came to me and said, "Hey, I want to become a Natrium." And so we did that. But I said, under the guise of promise that you'd carry my distribution, I represent a lot of small business. So I take these guys that just got in the industry and I like their concepts and I like what they did. I got them placement in 15 stores right away. That instantly boosted their pocketbooks, right? These alcohol industries do not do anything like that, right? They're not helping the small guy. So I don't want to take over your show, but I really appreciate you guys' time. I know Cliff mentioned you guys wanted to have me on, but I figured I'd give you guys a call and let you know I appreciate the work you guys are doing.
And thank you for the conversation. Honestly, everything, I just want to say preach over and over and over again as you were going on with all that, for real.
No, it's vital information, Mike, and you coming on the platform today is not to be undermined by your sweet heart of yours thinking that you don't have enough time on this platform. I've got nobody in the queue right now, but we do have some written testimonies that we're going to get to. But thank you so much for all the information you've given us and insight you've given us, not only as the business professional, but as the hemp insider that you officially now are and have been for some time, brother. So thank you so much for your service in one of the greatest wellness tools industries that we've ever experienced here as humans on Earth. And keep fighting the good fight, Mike. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, man. And go Navy. Go Navy football.
Let's go Army, man. We'll see we'll see, man. All right, so that was very powerful insight right there. And if it was a lot to digest, feel free to watch it back. You can even slow it down on YouTube playback. Trust me, I do it all the time for other podcasts where it's like, holy cow, this is a lot of information. But trust me, what you're getting here on the Dispensary Live is palpable in this in what's going to come forth in the change of getting this hemp ban either unbanned and or changed for the benefit of you, the user at home, or you, the business operator, or you, the distributor at home, such as Mike himself.
I gotta just give it the what did he say? The two bad parents who can't get it together. Pretty on point with the cannabis and alcohol across the board. I was like, they're working on it, but that perspective is not one I've ever looked at for it, and I kind of clicked right away. But until we get another caller in here, let's jump back to another testimony from our social media. So this one is going to be brought to you by Tyler P. For most of my life, I've had little to no happiness. Went to doctors and tried prescribed medication that made me feel worse. THCA changed everything, and I found myself. My mood has been the best it ever has been in my adult life. Now the risk of taking this being taken away, I have no idea how to comprehend something that has finally made me feel alive for the first time, not being available anymore.
Oh my gosh.
It rings with a lot of the conversations we've had in the grand scheme. You go through a huge portion of your life, feeling a certain way, finally find a solution, works for you, working, and then out of no control of yourself, just ripped away.
You think that you're turning a leaf.
Yeah.
No pun intended. You think you're turning a leaf in your own life, and you're like, man, I'm starting to feel some sense of peace. I mean, whether it's through your spiritual journey, coming closer to God, or just doing what you got to do, decompressing after work, because unfortunately, the old quote goes, "You work till you're dead." But that's not why we were put here. And the fact that Tyler P. found a sense of change through the plant, man, that's what's at stake. That's what's at stake there, lawmakers. You're talking about taking away the quality of life for one at a far statistic, like Mitch McConnell, the senator, likes to always point out, like, for kids are dying from this. Kids in high school are and young kids are getting addicted to this. And there's the exact same argument for alcohol. But the difference is that alcohol doesn't help the mother when she consumes it as much as cannabis or hemp cannabis can help that mother when consumed. She's not going to, everybody has free will in this life, right? You can choose to get behind the wheel should you drink and whatever. But if you use moderation and you weed responsibly, Brandon, if you got a moment, if you weed responsibly, then you're able to operate in a frequency in which you are more comfortable, just like Tyler P.
Yeah, I think even more, like I've noticed it over the last 5-10 years. There's also bigger conversations around mental health and all the stuff that comes with that: anxiety, depression, not PTSD, and not labeling any of that under this for Tyler. But if it's helping with that, why strip the medicine? I've said it already probably 2 or 3 times in this podcast, but stripping it away. It comes up to even Mike bringing up, having the conversation around who we serve on a day-to-day, what they're looking for. We listed off a plethora of reasons why people might be partaking or looking for the product. And this is just another one in that avenue. But again, hey, it's all good. Let somebody figure out a solution that works, that's natural, organic, is helping them. And let's just pull it away and see what happens. It's going to be a real fun, great result for the many people that use this for the ailments that they're on. Any other words on that one?
No, Tyler P's resonates with me because as a veteran with PTSD myself, there is no vulnerable moment here. There's no experience in life like being deployed in a combat zone for your country and your family and friends back home. There's no feeling on earth, in my opinion, greater than being deployed in a combat zone for the United States of America as a United States American soldier. So to come home and to miss that camaraderie and that sense of like living, if you will, I like Tyler's testimony is much like mine, except for I joined the military at 24, not all my life. Shout out Pops. He joined at 17 years old, did 23 years, but I joined at 24 and got out at 30. I mean, excuse me, not 30, but at 28. And for that brief amount of time, ever since then, although short, I'm only a few years removed.
Yeah.
This plant and this community has helped bring me out of a shell that is hard to come out of, bro, unless I'm around the gentlemen and ladies that I had the privilege of serving downrange with.
Understandably, very much so. Let's jump to another one of these testimonies, huh?
Yeah, you got a long one right here with Cheryl M. I can take that if you'd like.
Absolutely, feel free.
Let's go with you at home. It should be popping up on your screen as well. I think this whole thing is BS. Both marijuana and hemp are natural plants that have been around for eons. They have helped with many ailments, and they have both continued to do so. I'm thinking that the Tavern League is starting to lose money because people are moving back to THC and THCA products for the natural healing effects. Plus, hemp is a very versatile product for making clothes, material, and paper, etc. I take hemp-derived products for my pain, depression, and anxiety. I would rather do that than load up my body with harmful medications. There are regulations in effect for these products, and they can only produce the product per these regulations. I have friends who are hemp farmers, and they produce it and create different useful protocols with it. From Cheryl M. She's absolutely right. And to that exact testimony, a lot of the argument against hemp is that hemp should not be anything to do with cannabinoids. They, like big pharma, I believe, big marijuana and big alcohol want, I'm not pointing any exact fingers, just those forces that oppose the hemp industry want the hemp industry to exclusively be shirts, seeds, and rope, in which we have found since 2017, as a matter of fact, when they could start putting seeds in the ground here in Wisconsin, since 2018, probably over 1 billion lives have been impacted by this cannabis, this hemp cannabis. You know what I mean? Beyond the dollars, you know what I mean? Who was it? Sean, that speculated possibly over $100 billion market, it fully encompassing all the companies and the logistical things that go into cannabis getting from seed to shelf. You cannot take that away from those people in those experiences versus those negative. I'm willing to bet there's a lot more negative recourse out there from big pharma. And if you have a bad big pharma story from a medication that you've taken at home, please come on this channel here on the Dispensary Live and talk about how that has affected you. And if you've had the opportunity to try hemp cannabis as a wellness tool ever since, such as a viewer did 2 weeks ago, as a matter of fact, per her testimony, go back to the last episode of the Dispensary Live and you can check that testimony out. But
I will say I do like the highlight, though, of also including what you can use it for, like the clothing materials, paper, etc. Just for the fact of, again, how wide-reaching it could be.
But that most people are arguing it's too wide-reaching if it also has intoxicating effects, but it can do all these things.
This stuff and not the intoxicating.
Correct. It's almost like a monopoly business, if you will, almost like a I'm not going to say that here on the program, but I was getting ready to go there. But it's just unfortunate that people want it to be no cannabinoid play at all in hemp is what people want. And we've seen direct testimonies here. Now, just 3 on the program. We've got a couple more to get to, as well as yours at home. Should you want to put it in the comments or hit that link in the comments right now, you can fully come onto the program right here. The largest hemp cannabis program on YouTube, Facebook, the intranet period, and let your voice be heard or your gripe against the hemp ban be heard nonetheless.
Last statement on that one. I do agree, though. It is just blatantly BS. I agree with you,
As she
Cheryl.
starts in the very
Heavily.
beginning, it is blatantly
Hey,
BS.
why not start off on the right note? Because at the end of the day, that is the truth.
Yeah.
So let's jump over to Vincent G.
Vincent G.
Yep.
There we go.
I'm in a wheelchair and I have terrible leg pain, and smoking 2 joints helps me to kill the pain, and I sleep very well. I've only been smoking the hemp from the Farm Bill, and it is strong enough for me. I used to smoke the strongest herb, but I'm happy with the hemp low THC. And at the end of the day, as long as you're finding something that helps you with what you need to get helped with, that's the important thing. I don't think it matters what kind you're consuming in that sense, in the general like percentage, all that. But if you're finding out that you can buy hemp derived products and smoke 2 joints to get help with that pain and to help you sleep and hopefully consistently sleep through the night, it just comes right back to it. Ripping away medicine from people that are actually getting use from it in a medicinal purpose. I couldn't imagine having to be like to deal with leg pain that is now going to have me be put into a wheelchair. Probably makes my sleeping arrangement at night really rough. And we all know how we are if we don't get our good 8 hours of sleep to begin with. So now you're going to stack all of that on top of it. It's just crazy. It comes right back to Cheryl.
On top of the psychological and
Yeah.
spiritual warfare we're always under. You know what I mean?
It comes right back to Cheryl. It's BS. Like that could be the quote for me for the night. It's BS.
We'll put that on a shirt, Brandon, and put it on the
You
website.
can get a shirt for that.
Hemp ban equals BS.
Whole thing is BS. I'm with that. But no, to be able to go from the strongest herb and then be able to align with a compliant side of things
Yes.
and switch over to hemp derived THC, which is still giving you the effects you need, is a fantastic to hear. And that's why we're going to keep the good fight going. We're
Yeah.
going to keep trying to push
Speaking of the good fight, I mean, right there, testimony in the comments. Most recently, Mr. Brother Bear, I use cannabis products every day. I rely on them to help with body pains, anxiety, and getting through tough days in general. The same commenter said, nothing like that hit of flower after a long day.
Thank you, JBS.
Thank you, JB Ice 3908. Dude, thank you so much for your comment. That's
100%.
literally going to go towards saving this industry. You have no idea what you just did there by having the courage to come into the comment section and admit that not only are you a human, but you're somebody who goes through the day just like any of us. We're going to go home from this podcast and we're going to feel like, oh my gosh, that was a long day. And we had to drive in the snow just to get home. And it's well after dark and it's the Midwest and it's been dark since 4 p.m. You know what I mean? So it's all these depressionary
Sad
factors
season, though.
are playing on all of our minds on top of whatever personal stuff you got going on.
It's Harvest Moon right now, though.
Whatever Brandon said about the Harvest Moon, shout out to you
it
if
is
you
the Harvest
pay
Moon.
attention.
You won't see it again until 2042.
2048.
48, my bad. Yeah.
2048 Harvest
So,
Moon. So get out there,
if you
get
can't-
your eyeballs on the moon, but it's a bit foggy here in the Midwest. But anyway,
Still try to take a peek.
it's not foggy because there's a lot of hemp being burned. I tell you that. It's foggy because this hemp ban is shadowing the whole industry right now on a nationwide basis. I can't thank all of you enough in the comments for being here with us today. How can they say this isn't medicine while also labeling as medicine? From Kenneth Cloutier.
That's a very on point statement.
It's a super on point and right on time statement right there from Facebook. That's right. You can watch the program from Facebook too if you didn't know on YouTube. What an amazing point. How can they say that this isn't medicine? Man, you're the person at home that's going to tell them it's medicine. Come on the program, hit that link in the comments and tell the people that make the decisions in this country or in your state how this is going to affect you directly. And I'm very sorry that we have to be here talking about this because, as Shane said earlier, this is his livelihood at stake. I'm not sure if his mortgage is dependent on his job with the dispensary, but if it is, could you imagine the stress that's going on right now, not only for him, but for these other operator owners? Like they have hundreds or just a couple of people that Their lives depend on this. And all those co-companies that help produce gummies, that help produce labels, that help produce the fibers and stuff like that. The farmers that actually grow the stuff. That's why we're trying to do this right here tonight on the first Thursday of this wonderful December here in 2025. We got one more shot at this. Go ahead, Trevor. Go ahead. No.
Deal. So this one's coming from Darlene R.
Darlene.
Well, I can't afford the card. I have PTSD, seizures, and extreme anxiety. Cannabis stops my anxiety, and I can't take benzos. I'm allergic to them. So now I get to go back to the streets and don't know what I'm getting. That is a common conversation.
Could be
have
fentanyl.
with a lot of people.
It literally could be fentanyl laced
idea.
weed. I've seen a huge trend lately on social media of it's mainly like a new Northeast trend of them getting flour that's sprayed or wanting flour that's quote unquote sprayed.
Back to the streets.
If you send me back to the streets, you're just sending somebody with a little bit of PT. I can get counseling and stuff like that. A little bit of PTSD out there. Just look like I'm not gonna have access, man. You really gonna push me towards alcohol or towards these commercials where they talk about being depressed and shit? You really would? Raise your hand in the comment section if you've called the TV recently because of a pill that you saw and thought it was good. Please, I just want to know if it wound up being good or not, because I promise, compare that visit to a visit at the dispensary or another regulated hemp store that actually has industry standards and proper COAs. I would love to know your difference in experience.
Also, I just want to call it, again, another form of alternatives. A medicine that you'd be prescribed to, you're allergic, you physically cannot take it. What other options do you have? Well, you're gonna look, you're gonna research, and finding one, again, that can help you with all those same symptoms to have it ripped away. What was the saying of the night?
I think this is BS.
This is BS.
Yes.
Yeah. And
to that point, though, remember Tina 2 weeks ago, she said $10,000 for a shot.
Yeah.
Imagine how much, hypothetically speaking, if her next drug of choice wasn't a benzo, but it was a morphine.
Yeah.
Or is that the same thing? If I'm in the same family back home, like if they were to go to a morphine, like that's going to be more expensive, yay, nay, and or around the same ballpark. She said a $10,000 shot. It's like, God bless your heart, Tina. Good thing you did this through fasting and through worship.
100%.
Yeah, and through Gigglebush. You know what I mean?
But to be able to sidestep and try those different alternatives
to have them
see
available.
the results that she's seen is like, that's why the alternatives are there.
Class C felony right now if you're in the state of Alabama and you get found in possession of hemp cannabis, quote unquote, low grade THC.
But hey, real quick, Darlene, we're hoping that you don't have to go back to the streets.
That's
The plan is
100%
there.
right.
That's why we're here right now. That's why we're having everyone call in, leaving us comments. Just going to help support that fight at the end of the day. And none of us want to go back to the streets. I know none of us in this room do. Yeah, everyone's shaking their head. No, that's negative. So I am fully with you on that boat, Darlene.
Yes.
We do have some comments.
Yeah, shout out Steven in there. I saw him with there. Shout out the growers. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Because without the growers, they don't happen. Lord Calvert 2013. Get that thing up on the screen. Our family nearly lost everything, and this industry is what saved it for us. Praise God. And let's hear more about that story. Come on. Press the link in the
next time
comments.
call us in.
Get
We'd
in
love to
here.
hear about it.
Get
For
in
real.
here right now. Family nearly lost everything. I know people that have lost everything, man.
Keep on fighting the good
Oh, my
fight,
goodness.
everybody. Keep those voices heard. Joe Ray, we will.
Kenneth,
That's what we're here for.
Kenneth Cloutier, another comment here. This is affecting many of us that use this plant as medicine. Loads of people don't want pills that are man-made. We want traditional medicine to come back. Traditional meaning has good roots.
Kenneth out here preaching all night.
Kenneth out here. Thank you so much, Kenneth, for joining the program. In the comments section, hitting that like button for us as well. Thank you so much.
We have somebody in the.
Oh, we got our last minute call-in. We got Mr.
Oh, no way. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen at home, joining the program tonight is a man that not only serves his country for a number of years in not only deployment zones, but here in Garrison, what we call America, whenever you're just training. This man served the hemp industry starting 4 years ago and has since grown to being one of the most busy people in all of the hemp industry on a day-to-day basis. Ladies and gentlemen, Senor Cliff. Thank you for joining the program tonight, brother.
Yeah, thank you for calling in.
Hello, absolutely, and thank you for the introduction.
Absolutely. If you don't mind, for the folks at home, if you work in the industry or if you're just a consumer, you can state your gripe either way. But how has this hemp ban affected you directly?
Oh gosh. Well, I work in the industry, so it affects me on that point. Personally, I suffer from anxiety and other forms of PTSD. Have issues with sleep, issues with eating, and doing certain tasks. And I was using alcohol when I got back from deployment. I was using alcohol to try to cope with that, and that wasn't working. And then the VA was giving me a bunch of pills for a bunch of stuff, and I didn't really want to take that. And then I ended up finding cannabis, and I actually have been a lot better because of that. I'm able to eat, I'm able to sleep, I'm able to function normal again, and it's been a blessing on a personal side. Working in the industry, this ban will cripple many jobs, not just in the industry, but all of the people that the industry uses for packaging and labeling and other things. Like those companies are going to take a hit as well. So the economy on a bigger side is going to take a hit, and the fact that police are going to be busier because cannabis helps people get off harder drugs. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into this ban that I think a lot of people take for granted or don't take into consideration, and that's my gripe.
That's my gripe. Thank you for that, man. Thank you so much. And you don't have to answer if you don't feel so inclined to. I just want to poke because, I mean, you're just another American, although you served your country honorably. Thank you, UA. Appreciate you. Go Army. Beat Navy. Contrary to what Mike said earlier. Don't know what that shit's about. But if this industry gets canceled, do you potentially like lose your home by chance?
I mean, yeah, right now that is a risk, but it's a risk that I'm willing to support of this and the growth of this industry. I'm willing to take that risk until I can't. I'm here to fight.
10 toes down on it. I love it. I love to hear that.
Thank you so much, Cliff. What a powerful testimony. And that's going directly to you, the lawmaker, the decision maker of our wellness. That's a combat veteran telling you that he could not be normal since he fought for his country, and that little old hemp cannabis can help him have a sense of normalcy outside of his interpersonal life, but also into his professional life and into those communities. There's no other community like the cannabis community, Cliff, and I'm glad to be a part of it with you. I'm glad that you got to come on the program today and state your gripe.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a blessed night, brother. Thank you so much.
And just real quick, because there was another point that I picked up in that one that was a little bit different from some of the other testimonies we've had. That is a great add-on. Police. I haven't really had that brought up a whole lot to me. I've thought it, but in the grand scheme, like, yeah, taking this stuff off the streets, not off the streets.
Wow.
Back to the street.
Well, no, taking it off the
back
streets.
to the streets, yes. But us having taken it off the streets and now throwing it back to the streets, with already all the pressure that you see on law enforcement across the nation, it's just really throwing one more big wedge onto their shoulder to be like, here, now go deal with all this and the repercussions that are going to come from it with the people that are going to take it from the street.
Go to prison for years.
That's
1 to 10 years in Alabama. Roll Tide. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
I never need to go there. So
I got another comment here on YouTube, which if you're on Facebook, I'm going to see your comments here on the TV anyways. We're going to read them both. Miss Kayla _123. As a bud tender, my favorite part of my job is watching the impact that hemp has on all my customers. Sleep, anxiety, cancer, addiction, entertainment. Benefits are endless. God gave us cannabis. And her sub comment, I myself quit drinking and smoking cigarettes thanks to this plant. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we can all just bring it up real quick for Kayla. Just bring it up. You at home on the couch. Bring it up for Kayla real quick. Yes.
Yes. A little applause.
This is community right here. This is absolutely what it is about. I myself quit cigarettes as well last year, thanks to the Giggle Bush. Kayla, we share that same journey to a degree. Alcohol, I would still fighting that fight since moving here to Wisconsin. A spotted cow is like a guilty pleasure because I know they say fuck me when I'm saying you taste good. You know what I mean? In a sense of me being pro cannabis and them being pro me drunk. You know what I mean? And
I think I'm picking up what you're putting.
You picking up what I'm putting down there, bud?
Pick it up. Yeah.
Plug the sponsor, the dispensary. If you want to substitute your alcoholic tendencies, Dr. Amanda Reinman, who's been on the Dispensary Live before, has a study out there saying that there is no greater replacement for alcohol outside of cannabis. Take a look at Dr. Amanda Reinman's research, and I'll do my best to clarify that more so for you. Should you ever run into me in person, should you ever DM the program or put a comment down wanting to know more, I want to help. We want to help keep hemp alive and keep you alive in turn, because at the end of the day, the medicine, the wellness is the only angle we're pursuing. That's it. We all came into this industry thinking that it was just a bunch of stoners, man.
Yeah, true.
It was just a bunch of fucking stoners, man. No, these are real people, bro. People with MS, people with diabetes, people with chronic neuropathy, people that come in that tell me they can't feel 3 fingers, and I get pulled from the back doing what I'm doing. They're like, Jacob, this person really needs to talk to you. Like, let's do this.
Let's see how we can help.
Let's see how we can help, just like you can help here in the comment section. And if any of these stories resonate with you tonight, there's going to be a petition link. Brandon, do we still have a petition link or no?
1 minute.
1 minute on the petition link, but there is a petition link that's going to pop up eventually, and you'll be able to sign it and let your lawmakers hear your voice via piece of paper. And that piece of paper, should you print it off, I'm going to get closer to the camera so you can see Trevor talk.
Yeah, should you reach out to your representative, you're going to get this as a confirmation of it, and that's you doing your part. Very simple. Jacob, how long did it take you?
2 minutes.
2 minutes, he says. It's almost as quick as joining our calls and calling in with your testimony. A couple clicks and you're done and through. But that is going to make a difference. Those are the types of things right there that will make us and all of you be heard.
I love the celebration in the chat from Lord Calvert right after I read that last comment. Absolutely. Congratulations. Fond du Lac Dispensary finally in the chat there. Let's go. Shout out to you. If you struggled with a substance abuse issue, or you know somebody that struggled with substance abuse and or mental health, if you know somebody that's really bothered, not saying to replace your demons or fight your demons with substance, but I will say that if you're doing hard substances, come to hemp.
Give grass a chance.
Give grass a chance. And if you say it's not strong enough for you, hit our DMs at the dispensary on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. We will get you the consultation you need. I will go out of my way to see to it that your mental health gets better, even if it's not through the Giggle Bush. It doesn't have to be. We're here as a community in general. And that's something that we're going to stand on as not only a business, but as a program.
Totally agree. I think that's an easy enough thing for us to try to put ourselves in the position of doing.
Let's go. Lord Calvert 2013 says less than 2 minutes already done. That's another signature right there.
Yeah, right there.
We're going to give it up for you right here on the program. Thank you so much for fighting the fight with us. You've been a hell of a voice in the comment section today, and you just did the work and told the other people at home how quick and easy it is to join the fight.
Real time.
Real time, live action, baby.
We'll do it live. That's what it's all about. So appreciate that, Lord. All right, and we got some claps and applause. Perfect.
All right. My father died from a morphine patch given by a doctor, dead in 6 hours. Doctors and pharmaceutical should be held accountable. Leave the hemp industry alone. Drugs are dangerous. God bless. Microphone drop from Rainbow Gold 2024. And if I may for the whole program say, Rainbow Gold 2024, we are very sorry that you lost your father in the way that you lost your father. That is beyond any of us, and no words that we could muster up right now will ever give you any sort of replacement. But I do want to say that there are hearts in this, there's 3 hearts in this room, and all 3 of them are going out to you right now, and all 1,000 subscribers of ours, our hearts are going out to you and hearing that very, very statement on our program. That is heavy. That's malpractice. And a morphine patch that killed dead 6 hours. Didn't know, thought it was going to be good.
It's unbelievable.
What if he ate 100 milligram gummy? What would be the recourse if he just had 100 milligram gummy?
It's
munchies.
To me, it's
louder for the people in the back.
Now you go to sleep.
Would he hopefully wake up though?
Nothing like that.
This
Nothing
is
like that.
No.
Go to Kenneth Claudia right there. Thank you for your very powerful comment right there. Holy cow. That just rocked my world, Rainbow. We are very sorry you lost your father that way. Here we go from Kenneth again. As someone that was in and out of the ER hospital with pain and other health issues since 2016, I've been around this plant. When we got the hemp bill and I bumped into this company, it has been a game changer. I'm not in the ER hospital as much as I used to be. My pain is still there, but it's more under control now. Before I started to do hemp, I was on so many types of pills to quote unquote help with the pain, but it has nothing on this plant. I was able to walk away from the pills. I'm in a better spot.
Yep.
Gentlemen, Rainbow Gold lost his father off a morphine patch. Kenneth was in and out of the ER. Some would label him a hypochondriac, but it's like, no, Kenneth has a special situation going on, and to treat his pain, he's found nothing better than low-key what he can't find at a pharmacy. He's found it at a hemp store. Lawmakers at home doing your own thing right now. And if you're a lawmaker and you have your own weed at home, how dare you? I understand the government had to open, right? But how dare you sit there and not actively fight on a day-to-day basis to make sure that the people in 340 days have that wellness tool to be able to play life the way that they ought to play it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, when you look at the people who called in with their testimonies, the testimonies we brought from social media, and all the people in the comments leaving their stories, these are real things happening to real people, not just numbers, not just things helping contribute to society. No, these are human beings. And just look at the last couple comments we went through.
We're getting heavy.
Yeah,
we're getting really heavy.
It's real stuff happening to real people.
Real people.
Yeah, it's not a number game at this point. And to still think that there is a battle going on to stop more comments like this from happening, or more testimonies that we've heard from happening, or to have to revert and take the step back to where they were, 2005, 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago. Like, that's crazy. That's obscene to me. It doesn't even make it. It's hard to put words to it. At the end of the day, and all I can say is real things happening to real people. This is BS.
We're putting it on a shirt. It's going on the website, Brandon.
We can do that.
We can do that. All right. To anybody that commented tonight on this video, I'm going to piss my producer off real quick. Go to prohibition9.com. You at home in the comment section, no matter what platform you're watching, if you submitted a testimony tonight in the comments, or you gave the program some love with a like or a share, or maybe you just watched for a few seconds. Maybe you're not even here right now. You're rewatching. Guess what? Go to prohibition9.com. Type in promo code WELCOME15 and get 15% off your first purchase right there. Go. Unless you're in the state of Alabama, where it is punishable by 1 to 15 years in prison, $10,000 and $1,000. Do not order from prohibition9.com if you're in Alabama. Anybody else at home? Welcome 15, prohibition9.com. Get the wellness you deserve delivered to your door by a trusted American-made company that wants nothing more than your wellness to be benefited, and not your and nothing else. I ain't got nothing catchy to say there. Oh, jam. Miss Kayla. That's a big comment. Trevor.
My mortgage does depend on this job. And yeah, if I had to, I'd get another job. But what a shame to go back to stocking shelves when I spend my days changing lives in this industry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell would say, well, go get educated and become a nurse. I can hear Mitch McConnell in my head right now.
Didn't they just move those to non-professional jobs? Didn't they just move those to non-professional jobs? He might not recommend the nursing side of things.
Oh my gosh.
But Miss Kayla, that is extremely tough to hear, but I do concur. I would not getting another job can happen.
Yeah,
and
Miss
Kayla,
Kayla,
what you're doing and you're helping people like you want to do, why would you want to go back?
100% agree, Trevor. And Miss Kayla, how much of a hell was it to get approved for your home being in the cannabis industry? And would it help to have that changed in the future if you experience something negative? In the comments. But going to our next comment while everybody else is typing theirs and submitting them to the dispensary live from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Kelly Matthews, 5811. I quit smoking cigarettes back in April, and if it was not for cannabis, I probably wouldn't have been able to fully quit. So much happier with cannabis than tobacco. This is for you, Kelly. You made it. You made it, and you're making it every single day, and it's a conscious choice that you choose to make. And I'm very proud of you as host of the program. Trevor as host of the program as well. I'm very sure you can give Kelly some love.
Oh, I was glad.
No. Are you proud of her?
Oh, always.
Let's
Very
go.
much. Come on.
Trevor's I just wanted to confirm verbally.
Yeah, no, of course.
Trevor is very proud of you for quitting cigarettes, just like I am.
That's a tough.
They say
goal to accomplish,
nicotine's
yeah.
almost harder to quit than fucking heroin. So I've heard. Not a former addict myself, though.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay.
I do also want to just call it as a reminder of our last podcast. Jamie in the comments, I want to make Don't Be a Mitch merch so bad. If any of you watched our last podcast, you'll get that reference. I fully agree.
Oh,
I think we
get it.
should have merch around that. Don't be a Mitch.
Yeah, if you got a gripe against Mitch
That's
McConnell.
a Mitch move right
He's Hemp's number one foe, if you will. He is the mama to Bobby Boucher playing football. Let me tell you.
I'll drop the video tomorrow.
Drop the video tomorrow. Awesome. We've got okay, so Lord Calvert, the LaGuardia report 1944, Shaver Commission 1972. Don't know what that has to do with anything right now. I am kind of ignorant to what he posted in the comments there.
He was also talking about doing a collab with Jamie on the Mitch merch.
On the Mitch merch. Don't be a Mitch. Oh, Lord have mercy. Hit the link in the description right now, folks. We're going to go for another We're going to go live for another 2 days starting right now. We're going to do this for 48 hours. Am I right or am I wrong there, production?
Jacob just might be the only host here for a big part of that. So
For a brief point of time.
I can leave this running.
yeah, we can leave it running.
I need as many testimonials to submit to the people that make the decisions but make decisions for you and I and the people at home that have submitted all their wonderful testimonies today. I'll be here.
All right, Brandon.
I'll be here.
I guess this is running.
Hey, leave it going, man. Leave it going here. Should anybody else choose to want to come on, this is our last call for the evening for your chance to get on the program, the largest hemp cannabis program on the internet. The Dispensary live from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I am Jacob Hedersheim. That is Trevor Morrissey. We're here waiting for you. And if you, Trevor, if you got
a cap
anything,
on,
yeah,
let's put a cap on it with 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes to call in.
3 minutes to call in. Here we go.
And we're gonna shake it off. But until then, while we are waiting for that last projective caller,
Could be you.
takeaways. A lot of takeaways. A lot of testimonies that came in. A lot of really good points. I think that got brought to light. Whether it be how far-reaching the industry is, how far-reaching it will be in the economy, what it will do to the police force, what it will do to all those individuals who have found solutions to the problems that they've been dealing with for the last almost 10 years, and the ramifications that will follow from that. These are the exact conversations we're looking for. So for everybody that has chimed in, called in, left their comments on our social medias or in the chat, you're part of the solution. You're one step at a time, even if it's a baby step. These testimonies, these calls come right back to what I said before. Real situations, real things to real people. So if you know other people who have been affected or are worried about the ban or concerned that their medicine is going to be stripped away from them, or they're going to have to go back to the streets, even just alone at that point, have them call in. Have them leave the comments. Have them hit up our socials and drop us a line. All of this is going to be vital for the fight moving forward over the next. How many days, Brandon? What's on that count?
340.
One second. We are at 3:42 in 5 hours.
So in 5 hours, we'll be at 342 days. That's how much time we have to continue fighting this fight and try to make a change. It seems like just a week ago we were at right about 249. That's crazy.
No, look at this. I'll pull it up for you guys actually as we
Pop it up as we're coming into close.
Check this out.
Right there. That is it. 342 days, 5 hours, almost to the dot. Just in about 30 seconds, we'll be on that 5 minute mark.
Just go to thedispensary.com and check that out.
I don't know about you, Jacob, but I know how fast a year flies now.
Oh, dispensary time is absolutely an anomaly.
Exactly. And 342 days to some of you might seem like a long time. It's not. It's really not that much time. We have to keep the fight going strong the entire time. It's been a conversation with even Brandon many times. We're going to keep the pressure on. Jacob, we've had that conversation. We're going to keep the pressure on. And all we need to help us with that is some call-ins, some testimonies. And you guys have been doing your part. So reach out to people. If you know people who might not necessarily have seen our platform in the past, direct them there. Help them find us to help us platform their voice.
And if people don't know the full mission,
Yep.
we're going to compile all of these together into one, send them directly to politicians.
Very good reminder, Brandon. Yeah, this is a care package for all those people trying to make the changes for us that we have no say in. We're sending them a care package of all these testimonies, all these stories, all these real things happening to real people to show them why this is BS.
Yeah, all 50 states, doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, as long as you're of legal age. And if you have a story that's under 21, I'm sure it's interesting. We'd like to hear that as well. But
share your gripe.
Share your gripe with this possible hemp ban, and soon to be on the website. Don't be a Mitch.
Don't be a Mitch merch.
I saw one person in the chat, Jason Sutter. He wants his don't be a Mitch merch. So
okay.
But hey, I'm just gonna call this out there. Our phone lines are closed. We are closing the phone lines as of now. So
no more joining the stream.
If you were about to call, don't give up on it. Call us back in 2 weeks. We'll be back here. We'll be on here in this grind, still keeping the fight up.
That's right. That'll be our episode before Christmas, Nay.
Yep.
Twas the episode before Christmas on December 18th.
Yeah.
And should there be more voices that need to be voiced, we will take this thing to an every Thursday. We absolutely will. Should there be enough representation from the hemp cannabis consumer on this program, we'll happily do this every Thursday to get your voice heard, to get this video compilation as big as we possibly can, to make those that make our choices for us on a legislative scale, get them as much human data as possible versus whatever the hell they're seeing on all these fancy sheets that they get behind closed doors. And it's like, oh, look at these, kids are having access and this and that. Well, there's a company called The Dispensary, and there's a company called Crested River, and they're doing things the right way.
Fully agree with you, 100%. And all I can say to that is keep doing it the right way, setting an example. But on that note, for me, to everybody who's watching, everybody who chimed in, everybody who called in, left comments, left testimonies, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to share your stories, to step out of comfort zones, maybe all that, just to help us fight the fight. And in reality, it's you fighting the fight too. So I'm not going to take all the credit for it. I know Jacob's not. This is everybody involved. So appreciate all of you tuning in. Appreciate all of you giving us the testimonies. And if you haven't already, just please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word about who we are, what we're doing. And we will be seeing you in about 2 weeks for our Christmas special.